Hello, my name is Thomas Key, and I am President and CEO of Stock Traders Daily. This short presentation is going to be about our core portfolio strategy. This is a strategy that I developed after the stimulus phase that followed the credit crisis came to an end. It was designed specifically to be an alternative for buy and hold investors at that time because tightening was happening. Monetary policy was shifting from highly accommodative, and the removal of stimulus mattered. We created the core portfolio strategy back then, and we've been using it ever since. The core portfolio strategy is now at the root of everything that we do at Stock Traders Daily. It's scalable, it's efficient. In fact, it uses the most efficient way of managing risk imaginable. And I'll describe it here and show performance charts. But realize, if you want more information on the core portfolio strategy, you can get it at Stock Traders Daily. All Platinum subscribers are entitled. In addition to that, if you like the idea that's going to be presented here and the core portfolio strategy appeals to you, but you can't do it yourself or don't want to, we may be able to do it for you. So there's no excuse. The risk controls that we'll describe here can be used by anyone who wants them. We hope you enjoy the presentation, and if you have any questions, please reach out to us by email. Thank you. This is the core portfolio strategy page at Stock Traders Daily. On this page, you can always find the current position, which currently is neutralized. That means neutralized from market risk. Here you'll also find the strategy descriptions and archives. The strategy description is simple. It's designed to be able to make money in any market environment with a slow but steady approach that lowers volatility. You'll also find a performance chart, and we'll come back to this. But before we do, let's talk about its effectiveness. Core is designed to manage risk. That's what it was designed for in the first place. And in 2019, it had a 34 Sortino ratio. It was down much less than the S&P 500 during the Corona crash. And it uses the most efficient method of managing risk imaginable. But it's not always popular because it doesn't try to outperform the market. Instead, risk control is the top priority for core. Here are some of its features. It spent about 55% of the time in cash on average. That means no market risk. That produces lower than market volatility levels. And if we do our job, slow but steady returns. I'll show you what we mean when we look at these performance charts. But for those that want more, there is an ultra version as well that is basically twice core. It can be used by IRAs, pension funds, or it can also be professionally managed for those who don't want to do the work. And there's a taxable version as well. For those that have large portfolios that they want to protect, the core portfolio strategy can do that without triggering those capital gains taxes too. All of our Gold and Platinum subscribers receive email alerts. There are push notifications for the core portfolio strategy for those who want it. But again, if you don't want to do the work, there's a managed account option as well. In our opinion, everyone should be using core. That includes risk-averse investors, but also aggressive investors who like the risk metrics. They can use the ultra version and get more bang for their buck. But ultimately, anyone who does not trust the asset bubble, but again doesn't want to be left out, they should consider core. Let's talk about its performance. Here is the performance page for our core portfolio strategy. And in this chart, we are comparing the core portfolio strategy to the S&P 500. The orange line is the S&P 500. And yes, the S&P 500 is beating core. Core began in 2019. You could see that during the Corona crash, core was still up about 6%, almost 7%, from where it started, while the S&P 500 was down about 14, 15%. That's a big difference. Notice also that the purple line, the core portfolio strategies chart, goes up steadily, even with this undulation that was the Corona crash. Yes, the S&P 500 does too, but this was $9 trillion worth of stimulus as well. So let's look at that a little more closely. Specifically, let's compare core to the S&P 500 over the past month. The core portfolio strategy is beating the S&P 500 by about 7.5% because it manages risk. Over the past 3 months, the same thing. Over the past 6 months, core's beating the S&P 500 as well. And over the past year, even with that $9 trillion of stimulus, the core portfolio strategy is generally keeping pace with the market. The core portfolio strategy can work in any market environment. It manages risk, reduces volatility. At least it strives to. And in the process, it strives to achieve slow but steady growth. Because it spends so much time in cash most often, it's also a strategy where investors can sleep relatively well at night if the market begins to get ugly. That being if we are neutralized. The core portfolio strategy is nimble, it is proactive, it's scalable, and anyone can use it. You can get direct access to it by visiting Stock Traders Daily. You can learn all about it there. And if it's something that you want to do, you can subscribe, get the alerts, and start managing your risk using one of the most efficient models available today. We hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much.